Hello, hello, happy Wednesday, everyone. Thank you for joining me. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery patterns and kits. I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, where we relax and we craft and we work on a project together and just chit-chat and have some fun. And tonight we are going to be continuing the Jacqueline Steves I Love Home Block of the Month quilt along, and we have our little checkerboard borders. We put the left and right one on yesterday, and we're going to put the top and bottom ones on today, and I think we will start to prep the white, the skinny white border that goes around that. So I think that is the plan. I'm still hoping we get, let's see, we have Thursday and Friday yet. Ooh, we might still need a day on this to finish it after we start the next project. So, well, we're gonna get this top done soon. I can feel it, it's getting close. And then on Monday, you guys, just a reminder, we are starting the Tweet House embroidery pattern. We're doing this where we are color tinting the fabric first with crayons, and then we will be stitching over that color tinting when we're done. And I'm gonna be doing the holiday version of it, and the holiday version is available when you purchase the normal Tweet House version. So it'll be at the end of the email, or if you buy the physical version, it'll be part of the email. And that's the one I'll be doing, is the winter holiday one. So I'm totally excited. I've never done the color tinting with crayons or at all, but I'm doing mine with crayons. And I'll get the colored pencils out as well, and we'll give those a try too. So I'm gonna read up on that this weekend, try and learn something, and then we'll give it a go on Monday. So excited about that. But tonight we are going to continue on the Jacqueline Steves Block of the Month quilt along. Here we are. We did the side borders. Now we're gonna do the top and bottom. We have to press it, and then we will stitch it to the main quilt. So, all right, I'm gonna flip you around. Let's get going. Thanks for joining me, guys. All right, here's my quilt. I think we'll get right over to the ironing board to start out with. So, here we go. These are the top and bottom borders. We didn't press them yesterday. Instead, we went straight ahead and stitched the side borders onto the quilt. So here we go. That's what it looks like. So we're gonna do basically the same thing, but for the top and the bottom. See, we don't have that on yet. I know, time to get the Big Ben ironing board out. I know, a larger ironing board would be so much nicer than this. Well, you know, the holidays are coming up, and I'm gonna be going to my parents' house, and my mom has a nice big ironing space, so maybe we'll just about get this top done, or maybe I won't have it quite done, but maybe we'll finish it when I'm at my parents' house. And hold on a sec there, and then maybe I can press the whole thing out nicely there. That would be pretty cool. All right, so I'm just pressing all the seams towards the blue. I think I didn't, my scant 1/4 inch was a little too scant, so a little too less of a 1/4 inch yesterday. So when I'm ironing this, I'm not stretching it as much because I don't want that extra length by stretching it a little bit. So I'm just kind of gently pressing, not worrying too much if I don't get it all perfect. Oh, Patricia, I am for sure. I'm so excited to see them. I'll get to see my brother and his wife too. I won't get to see my other brother, which is a bummer, but we'll have to do some FaceTiming or something. But yeah, I'm very excited. So I'm not quite sure when I'll be doing that yet. So I don't quite know what the schedule is for us here coming up, but I'll probably not be doing this on Christmas or maybe a couple days surrounding it, but I might do a day here and there. So I'm gonna check the schedule and I will know more this weekend. And you guys, keep your eyes open for a newsletter from me. It will go out either Friday or this weekend, but it will be, I think I'll have my holiday schedule in it here, and I'll also give you guys what you'll need, like a supplies list for the Tweet House project, so you guys can get stuff over the weekend and have it for Monday. It's basically, you know, the fabric and the crayons and whatever paper towels and stuff. I will give you the whole rundown of that. So keep an eye on your emails for that. And if you're not on my email list already, and you know want to get some fun tips and tricks and be part of the gang there, I do have a link in the post here, but you can just go to penguinandfish.com and a little pop-up will pop up, and if you sign up there, then you'll get on the email list. And if you do it tonight or tomorrow, then you'll get the email coming out about what you'll need for the Tweet House project. And you'll also get a free pattern. Everyone who signs up gets a free Picnic Pals pattern. So a bunch of cute little animals. But yeah, so I know some of you guys have been wondering what we need for it, and I'm actually not positive because I haven't done it before, but I'm going to do some research and I will find out what we need to be aware of. You know, we don't want crayon wax to end up everywhere. So I will find out those things. You do not need to prep anything before we start. And I'll tell you guys about that in the email as well. We will be doing the whole process from beginning to end on here, including tracing the design onto fabric. So don't worry about having your design traced or anything. We're going to talk a little bit about that during the process. So that's Monday. I'm pretty stoked for that. But man, I really wanted to get this top done by Monday, and I think we might just be, oh, I didn't get that one. We might be just a day shy from that. But, well. We'll have time to pick it up and finish it. So I know in January, we're going to start the charming chevrons. I do want to finish this, the top of this beforehand. So if this runs into like the first few bits of January, then that's how it'll go. But we will start close to the beginning of January for the charming chevrons quilt. All right, so we got those pressed. Ooh, my machine's on and waiting for us already here. Let's scooch over. So I need to find the center of this again. So top and bottom. It's easy now because it's the parts with the white on still. Oh man, it's just getting bigger and bigger here. All right, so I'm folding it like I did yesterday, so I can find the center of this border. And then I'll find the center of that checkerboard guy that I was just pressing. And that will be, you know, our center point, which is one of our kind of base points that we're finding here. Then we'll clip it all and sew it up. I'm just kind of lining up the edges still. And there we go, right there. That's going to be the center. So I'm just giving it a little press. Okay. And all right, right there. And then let's just fold this guy in half. Let's see what the center square is, and then we'll use that one. We'll just match that one up. Okay, so this little blue area. So I'm going to just match up those seams. Give that a little press too. Little finger press. There we got a little crease there. So then we just need to match up those creases. And that will be our center. Get some wonder clips out. Running out of wonder clips. They're all laying all over my table everywhere. I should just grab from that, I suppose. I think we'll do that. I just kind of leave them on the table after I take them off when I sew, and some have fallen underneath the table, some are here. Hopefully we don't run out. Then I'll have to dig up around the table to do it. All right, so let's just match this top. Oh, and I'm gonna do it the same way I did last night. I'm gonna sew with this at the bottom so I can have that pull, the feed dogs pull. Sally, I am still planning on having the sale, and it might be a little bit sooner than later. I'm just trying to figure out how to coordinate it all because I have a lot of fabric, and I'm trying to figure out how to, get it all here and photograph it and all that. But I am going to have a sale. I'm not quite sure how it's going to function yet. It might just be, gosh, I'm not positive, but I might just list them on Facebook here, or maybe even, oh man, I'm not quite sure yet. But it'll probably be a scenario where you just, I take a photo of it, and then if you click, if you just write sold and your name, then I will message you for it. And then I'll go like whoever does it first come, first serve, until I run out. Because I'm not sure I'm going to measure how much I have, because it's just yardage. I took it off the bolt, so I just have tons of bolts of fabric. Just trying to figure out how to coordinate it, but I think it will happen soon. So I have, when I cleaned up my all my fabric, I realized that I had way more penguin and fish fabric. Penguin and fish meaning, the fabric that I designed. So I have like, I don't know, around 11 collections or so of fabric. And I have fabric from my very first collection, like, I don't know, 7 years ago or something like that. Yeah, maybe not that long ago. But I'm going to be selling all of it, and I'm not making fabric anymore either. So this is all that's left of it. If you Google, sometimes you can find bits here and there of older collections, but in general, there's not much left. So I have a bunch of it on the bolt. Yep, this is the fabric that I designed myself and worked with a fabric company to sell, or to produce. They produced it, but I was the designer for it. But yeah, I'm not with them anymore, and I frankly kind of need the space. I don't know what I'll do with all this fabric, and I have some, I have a few yards that I'm keeping for myself and everything still, but I don't need full bolts of, full collections of like 11 years of, or 11 collections. So I'd rather you guys have it and get it out there. Oh, I'm so happy with the fabric, Gretchen. I love all of it, and I hope sometime I can do fabric again. But, right now it's just not quite the right time for me to be doing more fabric. I need to cleanse all the stuff out first, I think, and then maybe I'll pick up fabric again or try and work with another company again. But yeah, so you can, it's Penguin and Fish. It's under my company name. It used to be with Clothworks. So if you, are looking for a particular thing, out in the wild, if you do a search for like Alyssa Thomas and Clothworks and Penguin and Fish, a combination of that, you'll get to, here and there people are selling like a yard of it here and there on Etsy and some other places. But in general, it's hard to find at this point. Yep, it sure does. It says my name on the selvage. It says by Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish on on all the selvage. So I loved designing all of it, and I'm really happy with it all, but I just can't have it around. Will you sell in fat quarters collections? I have a few fat quarters of the later collections left, but I don't think so. I think I will only be selling by the yard, and you know, all I have is this yardage left, and I'm not going to do any more little bundles, I don't think. We'll see. If I still have some left over, maybe I'll do some scrap big bundles, but at this point, I need to sell it by the yard and just get the space back. So it'll be available by the yard, I think. And yeah, I'm finalizing how to do that, but stay tuned for an email. Again, that's maybe another reason to be on my email list. That's you guys are usually the first to hear about stuff here on the Facebook land, because I just kind of basically spit out everything that's on my brain. Then the next place to really know the details of when I finally figure out what I'm doing, that's the newsletter. So if you don't get my newsletter already, that might be a thing to go on. And sometimes I do specials. Sometimes I don't announce when I'm doing sales anywhere but the newsletter. So it's good for that. But yeah, I guess what I'm saying with it, I will definitely let you guys know here and in an email, how it's going to work and when and times and all that, and what will be available. I might actually do it over a couple of days, like 4 fabrics a day or something like that. Something so it's easy and fun for all of us. But yeah, it's on my brain still. I am just figuring it out. I don't think it will be before the holidays, just because that's going to be just coming right around the corner before I know it. But early next year at the latest, I'm thinking. And who knows, maybe it'll pop up soon, but my guess is early next year, which is cool, because if you guys get a whole bunch of patterns or stuff for Christmas, then you can get some cute fabric to make stuff with. But yeah, I mean, there'll be stuff from all of the collections. So there'll be like the Here Kitty Kitty fabrics, and a bunch of the Safari fabrics, and the ABC ones that have all the animals on, from all my patterns. All of those I have at least a little bit from, I think, every single collection. Exactly, Gretchen. Yeah, I mean, I've had it for years on bolts, and now they're protected in bins, and I'm like, I would rather other people have these and make stuff out of it than me just storing them, basically. So I think that's what the deal is. All right, done with this row. So I think I'm going to stitch the other row on, and then we'll press it after that, versus pressing now. But yeah, I'm excited for it. Time just gets sucking away, and but yeah, definitely look forward to that for the next year. Fun penguin and fish fabric sale. And then hopefully I will have the Smithsonian fabric vault. Hopefully I'll have a little bit more room to make more stuff then, without all that fabric from years and years and years. It's a little sad though. I'm sad I'm not designing fabric right now, but I'll definitely be happy knowing that you guys have the fabric, and knowing that you guys always do such cute stuff, and that's better than me just hoarding it all. I'm trying to get over that, right? I'm trying to get over using all the things, finishing all the things. You know, that's how it's been the last couple of years. I want to keep making stuff and keep using up what I have, and I don't know. Although I do still buy fabric every once in a while. It's like candy. Oh, Patricia. I don't know if I would say that, but I have been, I think 11 collections is what it ended up being. And then I did a few collections that didn't end up being produced. So who knows, maybe maybe those will be produced by someone else sometime. A lot of it gets turned into embroidery patterns, or you see it in some other ways here and there too. All right, so I folded it in half again, and marking that spot for the center, just like how we did the other side. And I got this guy hanging over my back of my chair, and we'll fold this puppy as well. The one who dies with the most fabric wins. I don't know. My whole deal now is like, wow, what if I can empty all of my bins and I don't have any more fabric, and you know, I've cut up all my clothes and I don't have any more fabric. Like, can I get to that point? Wouldn't that be wouldn't that be something? I'll have, you know, my house will be like filled with quilts because there's so much fabric. I'm still always amazed. I don't know. Let me know how you guys feel about this, but I'm always amazed at how little fabric a quilt takes. Like, I'll have a bin of fabric, right? And I'm like, oh, I'm going to use up a whole pile of this stuff with this this quilt I want to make. And I'll make the quilt, and it does not even look like I scratched the surface of that scrap bin or whatever that fabric bin was. I don't know. It's crazy. I think I'd probably have like 300 quilts or more with the fabric I have here. And I feel like I don't even have that much fabric compared to what I see in all the pretty photos of people's spaces and stuff, you know? Like, here's my studio and here's my wall of fabric. Like, I do not have that much fabric. Oh, but it's so pretty, and there's cute stuff coming out all the time. And when you go to the store, you always tend to get a... Oh gosh, yeah, Gretchen, I hear you. So like, I get like I think I wrote a blog post about this, but I get the, that fabric fever. So like usually, you know, I try and be pretty good. Like, I'm only going to get this thing, and that's what I'm here for, and the end. But if I allow myself to just get like one pretty piece of fabric, then I've opened the floodgates, and then I have to, then it's a free-for-all of like, ooh, this one's cute, and this one's cute, and this one's cute. That's how it was when we did the that hourglass quilt. That was some fever fabric right there. So I felt good that I actually made it into a quilt right away. That took a little bit of that, you know, the guilt away, I guess. Oh, the only time you feel like you use it if you use it on a big backing. Yeah, that always feels good, like, all right, here's a big chunk. But lately I've been making the backing out of my scraps from the front of the quilt. And then it's like I haven't used anything up because it was plenty for the back of the quilt. So I don't know. I feel like I'm recycling. I feel like I'm using up stuff I have, and I feel like I'm making space in our tiny little house, and that feels good. All right, we are pinned. Oh, you started cutting up your blue jeans and jean shirts. Oh, nice. Oh, Carla, that is awesome. I would love to see that. I am still working on my jean quilt that I've been working on for like, gosh, 10 years now or so, just kind of on and off. I'm finally to the quilting stage. I'm tying it with yarn, with wool yarn, and man, I just haven't sat down and do it. Maybe I should bring that to my parents' house for the holidays. Oh man, there's a lot of projects. I always have to bring some project there for sure. But you know, I'm working on that. hedgehog, like wall hanging quilt of this hedgehog guy here that I want to hang behind me during our Facebook Lives here. And that needs to be or like quilted as well. I'm gonna tie it, quilt tie it, and then I think machine quilt it a little bit too. So many projects, but it does feel good to use up stuff. It does feel good. I mean, now that I'm doing, you know, these Facebook Lives with all these quilts we've been making, it just feels good to use the fabric instead of just save it. And, you know, breaking into my most favorite fabrics, you know. Definitely the whole, instead of saving it, let's honor it by making something out of it. That's kind of, I don't know, I'm going with that lately, and it feels good. I do have to say that. A real sense of accomplishment, yeah. Using up the stuff. Using up stuff I love. But man, it barely made a dent still. It's just funny. Oh gosh, and you know what? There's the Splendid Sampler. I'm not done with that yet either. My God, I cannot believe I'm not done with that. All that needs is some quilting in the border and then a binding, and then that'll be done. So really, that doesn't have a lot. But I've been doing that whole thing here, and we've been just doing project after project, so I haven't had time to finish that. But if I could get my hedgehog done and my jean quilt done soon, then those are two really big, bulky projects that are done, and that'd feel super good. Ooh, let me check this. Oh, I was thinking that the tension looked a little funny, but you know what? I think we're okay still. I think it was just a shadow. I thought I was seeing thread popping up, but we're good. And we know the bobbin's good still. Oh, you look at your book every day. Oh, still stuck on the fabrics to pick. I know, isn't that, I agree that is a really difficult part. And at some point it's just like, well, this is what I'm gonna go with, and I'm gonna feel good about it, and the end. But yeah, I take a lot of time auditioning fabric and kind of laying it out in the proportion of what it might look like in a quilt. And yeah, I always start with a favorite fabric, and that helps make a lot of the decisions. Like I know every time I work on something, I want to work with something I love. So I always start out with like a star fabric or something just that I really, really want to work with. And then I pick the rest of the colors and fabrics and everything from there. So that usually helps, is if there's something that a fabric you really love, maybe start there. And then you can use similar colors. Or if it's a medium tone, then pick some light tones and some dark tones. Or if it has a lot of flowers in, then find, you know, some with butterflies or more flowers. And yeah, but I always find having one fabric as a starting point is really, really helpful. Oh, you have a Splendid Sampler waiting for you too. Oh, quilting and binding for you too, Phyllis. Yep, we're in the same boat then. But with the 100 blocks, do you use it in each block? I did for mine, Gretchen. So my mom did hers differently. My mom did hers all patchworky. So she did her Splendid Sampler quilt. She had a whole bin full of fabrics, and she picked some out of it. She kind of chose a little bit what colors she liked. So I think she always had green in it, and she tried to have, I think, like a pretty brown and stuff in it. But then she kind of, every once in a while, she would pick another fabric from there and just try and work it in. So hers was more patchworky. I picked all of my colors at the beginning, and then I used the same stuff throughout. I did introduce some later in the game, but it still had, they were still, oop, geez, I covered you up. They were still of the same color palette. Like I could have picked them before. Oh, hey, Kathleen. Good morning. Oh, yeah. So, Patricia, I definitely want to do a little color study thing one of these days yet, too. I'm thinking that might happen after we finish the Charming Chevrons quilt. Maybe with the next project after that, we'll do like a whole like color seminar beforehand or something. You know, color can get tough if you really start doing the whole color wheel and that approach, but I think we can take another approach to it that'll be just a little bit easier and more practical. So I'm excited for that too. We will definitely spend some time on color coming up here, I think. All right, we are pressing towards the border. Man, we got time left though, which is awesome. So we will prep the white border. So, you know, like the white border here, we get another white border on the outside of these checkerboards yet. And we have to kind of sew it together like a binding. So we sew all the strips together at the diagonal, you know, or the strips are like this, and then we do, you know, the other one in the diagonal. Man, my hands like super veiny. But so we'll sew those together into a really long strip. And then that long strip we cut down into the border. So we'll at least get the long strip made tonight, I think. But I think we'll cut it down tomorrow because that involves numbers and math and measuring, and that might not be the smartest thing to do late here. So we'll sew it all together, but I think the actual measuring of the border and cutting we'll do tomorrow. So that'll be easy though. We'll cut that, we'll measure and cut, and then we sew the two sides on, the top and bottom, and then that's that for the white border. And then the top and bottom just gets that skinny border and that wide border, and then this whole top is done. So we are really on the, you know, the ending of this really. However, you know, it is Thursday tomorrow, and man, I don't know. Maybe we can get the rest done on Friday. I don't know, but it's going to be cutting it real close. So I'm betting that we'll need one extra little day on this, and I'm not sure when that'll happen. We'll if we do need an extra day, then you know, we'll still do the tweet house starting on Monday. We'll just put a pause on this and start the tweet house, and then we'll squeeze in the one extra day to do this before starting the Charming Chevron pattern. And I think in that newsletter that I said I was gonna send you guys, I'll put some more information on the Charming Chevron pattern as well, just if you haven't looked into that yet, because that'll be coming up real quick too. Oh, Patricia, I do believe, oh, two people are asking. Oh, okay, sorry. Guys, it's hard for me to read while I'm pressing. I think, I'm pretty positive I have a link in this Facebook post about it. So if you go to the project schedule, which is part of this Facebook post, under the project schedule, after the first project, which is the tweet house, it'll be there should be a link to the Charming Chevrons, all that information there. It's by Christa Quilts, Christa Watson of Christa Quilts, and here I'll show you to you guys too right now, since I think it's kind of near me. There, we got that guy pressed. I'm excited. He looks so cute. So the Charming Chevrons is this pattern here by Christa Quilts there. And I think I'm going to do the queen-sized version. She has all the different sizes, so lap, throw, twin, queen. You know, if you're using fat quarters or, you know, yardage, she has really great instructions on the material list, and that's in the link about it. And then I'm also going to use her book, Machine Quilting with style. From walking foot wonders to free motion favorites. I'm going to use the free motion part of it to really try and learn how to free motion quilt. So first we're going to make this, and I think it's going to be super duper easy. It's going to be really fun. I have a bunch of colors already for it. Let me see if I can grab those. So here are some of the colors I'm going to use. So the background fabric, I'm doing this bright red. So, you know, she has a background fabric of this dark navy, and then this one it has the gray, and then the rest is really colorful. I'm going to do this dark, kind of rich red for the background, and then I have all these really kind of juicy, saturated, you know, inky, like popsicle colors that are going to be my colorful zigzag. So mine is going to be kind of like a medium tone juice box of color. So again, these are a bunch of my favorites that I just have never used. They've been sitting on the shelf just looking pretty, and like I said, I'm totally in the zone of using up my stuff. So using up my favorite happy things. So that's going to be my chevron quilt. So yeah, the pattern is available. I think it's available as a PDF and as a printable one, or not a printable, a paper one. All right, let's grab the fabric here. But yeah, I am super duper stoked about it. I think it's going to be just so fun. So the pattern itself looks really easy, but still clever and interesting. So I'm excited about that. And the real game is going to be free motion quilting, because I am a total beginner. I've putzed around on like one little scrap paper or scrap fabric before, but other than that, I'm pretty new. I've read a book on it. I've read actually 2 books on it. So I do have some knowledge. It is just not practiced knowledge. I'm just measuring this just to make sure. Yep, 1 1/4 or 2 1/4. That's what it said in the instructions. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, so this is my path to learning how to free motion quilt, I think. All right, so these, I did not trim the selvages of these, so I think we're gonna do that again. Oh, you bought the new one? Oh, the newest one. Oh, that's fine. I'm thinking, you know, she does have a couple books out. I'm gonna just grab the other book. I think they both dig into quilting, so I wouldn't worry that you got the different one. Oh man, I don't think I have a throat plate with a tiny hole, so we're gonna just be dealing with it with what I got here, and I think we're gonna just learn. I don't have the gloves, but I do have these. I'm testing out these little guys called Grippets. They're by Sewing Mates, and they have like these little rubbers, and I'm gonna use those to kind of move things around, I think, instead, because I have like teeny tiny hands, and gloves never ever fit me. So I'm using these, but you don't necessarily need these or the gloves. According to these books, you can just kind of, you know, if this is what I'm quilting, you can kind of just grab it like this and, you know, kind of scrunch it and leave the area flat and move around. So I think if you're just starting and don't want to buy all the gadgets right away, then I wouldn't. I would just give it a try. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trim. I want to trim these little selvages off of all of these before I get too far. If I can find the rotary cutter, there we go. All right, so let's see if I can do a few of these at once. I'm going to just line up the selvages and get that edge nice. There we go. Oh, you discovered you needed something to help control the movement. So you needed the gloves, is that what you're saying? Yeah, I mean, I'm taking it as a total learning experience. So I am fully expecting my my first bouts to be pretty crappy looking. Like, I'm completely okay with, you know, skip stitches and it looking crazy, like the first few rows or whatever. I'm hoping that I will get better along the way, and I'm really excited to be able to see the progress from beginning to end. I mean, I love learning new things. I love seeing ideas progress, you know, like I'm excited about, oh man, I don't think I can cut all this at once. We're going to cut this. I love the idea that I could see all in one quilt, the beginner to hopefully relatively intermediate. Who knows? I mean, that's wishful thinking, but I'd like to see progress from beginning to end, you know? If I'm not making progress, then I'm not asking myself enough questions along the way, I feel like. Like if it's bad the entire time and I'm not trying to figure out how to fix it, then, you know, that's not the plan. The plan is I want to work on it, assess what went right and wrong, and then try and improve on those things. But yeah, so to me, that's what this project is for me. Plus, it's a chance to use up these juicy, pretty fabrics that I've been hoarding forever and make just something just really bright and juicy. This one's just going to be, it's going to be inky and juicy. I don't know how I can describe those fabrics in any other way. I'm pretty excited about that. I don't have a lot of contrast in my fabrics, but I think that'll be okay. It'll be just like a mass of juiciness. Oh, your pumpkin quilt was the first time you machine quilted. You didn't free motion, but did the lines down. Oh, nice. Without the feed dogs. Oh, yeah, you needed help with the grip. Yeah, I'm a little... we're just going to see how it goes. Like I said, I know there's going to be room for a whole pile of improvement, and I'm sure there'll be lots of errors, and we will just figure it out and push through. That's the plan. Learn some things and see where it goes. All right, we are trimmed on all of our guys here. So what we need to do now is, let's see, take them one at a time. We're going to match up the ends and stitch those diagonals. And you know what? I think I'm going to do what I did last time, where I wonder clipped them together to make sure that it was the right length. And I think I'm going to go ahead and draw a line on it as well. That kind of flung across the room. Oop, look, I got my scissors is stuck in the bottom of there. So I think, you know, this is overkill, but I'm going to throw wonder clips on both of these. And then I'm going to take my ruler and draw the line down the diagonal. And that'll be my stitch line. So the trick with this is to not twist the strip. So like if this is going to be, if I sew here, then this will be a selvage, and I'll open it up this way. So this is the right side. So I got to think right side. I can't have any twists in here. Okay, right side, right side. Get rid of these twists. Right side, right side, right side, right side. Okay, and then we can put the next one on. And I'm just going to clip and draw lines on all of these. I know. Well, the magnet is meant to hold like spices and stuff and hang on the wall. But yeah, it's gripping my poor little stork scissors. The minty stork. Okay, there we go. Usually on the triangle, most quilters extend the ends. Yeah, I've heard that too. Extending the ends you know, so here, I'll show you in the next one. So, all right, like this will sew this way, and then right side, right side, right side, right side, right side, right side. All right. So yeah, a lot of quilters, what they do is instead of lining up the edges like this, they'll cross it over a little bit like that and then cut. But I don't know, why don't I do that? I think I just don't want to cut off all that extra stuff. But, you know, it'd probably be smart. Let's do one like that. So we'll do this one. We'll do this one crossed over. We'll give it a try. It's just something I don't normally do, so I'm just not used to it. Oh, I do need to make sure that I'm keeping this at a 90-degree angle yet, though. I'm still clipping it, just because I don't want to pin it. Yeah, it ensures that, you know, that we have enough here that it doesn't slip down or something, too. And it's easier to see the lines connect, too, because it's just at those corners there. There, like that. So we'll try it with that one. All right, and then we open it again. And this is the right side, right side, right side, right side. Oop. Right side, right side, right side, right side. And we have 2 more strips. I'm laughing at myself, but I have to say the right side for all those for me to know. All right, we'll cross it over a little bit for all these other ones too. We'll just give it a go. There we go. Yeah, and then you can aim for the V too, that's true. The little V made from these corners. All right, oop, almost forgot to draw the line. We have one more after this. All right, connecting those. And again, I like to pretend that I'm pressing it, and then right side, right side, right side, right side, right side, right side, and then we have this last one here. Ooh, Sue, I hope you feel better soon. All right, we're overlapping again. Throw some clips. Okay. Line it up. This is mostly, the line is mostly just so I can aim. I mean, I could do it without the line, just aim from here to there, but it's so much easier just to stitch on top of the line. All right, let's throw these under here, and that is that. Let's sew these guys, and I think just because this one's here, we'll start at the bottom and go up. Let's get that guy off of the clips. Whoop! Close call. Okay, let's give that a go. Let's get back to the machine over here. So we are going to have just one giant long strip, kind of like how we do a binding, but this is for that border. So, and the reason we're doing it this way is so your where they meet comes at a different spot on the binding or on the border, and that way they're a little bit more hidden, I think. So a hair to the right of the line. To the right of it? Oh yeah, that's kind of like allowing for the fold to open. It's so awkward staring right at the needle and stitching right on the line because I'm just used to watching, my 1/4 inch mark. All right, so I'm gonna just keep, well, first of all, let's remove those clips. And I'm gonna just scroll here to the next guy, and we'll start this one right away. Just making sure it's flat. Get my helper up here. Oops, there we go. Sewing a straight line, still a challenge. All right, remove those clips. Yeah, I'm trying to sew a hair to the right of the line. Hopefully we're doing okay. All right, next bit here. I'm kind of going in reverse order, so I'm kind of making a little bit of a tangle here, but we'll be fine. I'm a little to the right of the line again. All right, remove the clips. Ooh, I'm a little, maybe too far to the right that time. I think I have 2 or 3 more here to do. And then I will press these, and then I'll trim the seam allowance away. Oh yeah, man, these are not all completely straight, that's for sure. But we can fudge that a little bit when we press and sew, so I'm not all that worried. You guys always have such good tips for me. I'm learning just so much every time we're on here. All right, and that is it. Get little mint feller out here. Get rid of these guys. All right, I'm gonna snip these as I go. We have 1 giant long strip. All right, you know, I'm thinking I should have maybe changed to my lighter color thread, but oh well, we'll be fine. All right, let's press this puppy. Poor Quilt's hanging out here. Move him out of the way. He's just constantly getting shuffled. All right, I'm going to find an end. And you know what? I'm gonna press this right away too because it's all wrinkly. It needed to be pressed anyway. Let's just do it now. It'll be easier for us to cut into the border lengths that we need to do next. But tonight, I think we'll just finish prepping this big long ribbon, basically. And then tomorrow, we will trim these to size and to the border size. And then we'll be good to go. All right, so there's our first crossover. Our first diagonal, I should say. So ideally, our seam allowance should be all on the correct side. If not, then we got to get the seam ripper out. But we did, you know, we were pretty careful about it, I think. You know, that's me going right side, right side, right side the whole time to make sure I don't get a twist in it. It's kind of like knitting. You don't want to accidentally get a twist when you're knitting in the round. Then you end up with like a Mobius strip or something. All right, there's the second one. I'm happy we got all those checkerboard borders on. Oh, Phyllis. Oh, that's nice of you. Well, that's my secret, like, you know, reason that I'm doing all these scopes is because I get to steal all your guys' knowledge. It's awesome. I definitely feel like I've learned just so much from listening to you guys. And what's so cool is that everyone knows how to do something, you know? And we've been doing so many things here that someone knows a tip here and there about something and has been sharing it with everyone, and that's been really cool. Like I definitely feel this has been, I love learning crafts like more than anything. Yes, I do knit as well. I've been wanting to do some knitting on here actually. We might do a knitting project at some point. But yeah, it's like one of my favorite, like one of my biggest favorite things in anything is learning and trying to, you know, figure something out, like cracking the code, you know? And with every new little tip and stuff I learn, I feel like it's another superpower, you know? Another thing for the mental library or whatever. Something to help you on a desert island, right? That scant quarter inch, you need to know that on the desert island. But I feel like hanging out with you guys has totally sped up that process. Yeah, so I think that'd be fun. We could do like a really basic knitting project and learn like some beginning knitting. Like one thing is that I love knitting that goes pretty quick and it's a great like starter project is knitting washcloths, like dishcloths. I just love making those, like with some cotton thread and stuff. That might be a fun how to knit project. And you know, I'm with knitting, I'm the same as how I am with everything else. I know enough to get by, but I don't know, like, I'm not advanced at anything. But I think that would be fun. Oh, one of your favorite sayings is knowledge is power. Nice. Oh, you tried knitting, it was a disaster? Oh, we'll have to for sure give it a go then, because I want to hear, you know, we'll go through it and, you know, talk about things that might be messing you up and stuff. And it really is helpful watching from this position. So like, you know, I'm right here, you know, if I'm knitting, it's almost going to look like your hands here knitting. So you'll actually see what you would see in front of you. It's a little different than watching someone knit or standing behind them or whatever. It's almost like, because of where my camera is, it's almost like right there. You'll be able to mimic it a little bit more, I think. And I know a few different ways of knitting. I'm going to just trim all these off with my scissors. I know some of that freaks some people out sometimes. You can do this with your rotary cutter and just measure the quarter inch, but man, I just like using my scissors. But yeah, and you know, I can read a pattern and I can do some stuff. I don't have it mastered, that's for sure. But I think we could do a beginning project pretty well. And we could talk through it. I love it. To me, that is just a simple knitting project, like with not much going on, is just like the ultimate relaxing project. And actually, you know, now that we're doing like the needle turning and applique and stuff, that kind of has a similar feel. It's just, you go along and you stitch and it's just fun and easy. All right, so here's where I have that extra where we crossed over. I think I'm just gonna clip those dog ears off too. Does that sound like a thing to do? I think we'll just go like that. If they are left-handed, it's different knitting. Oh gosh, yeah, so that I'm not sure I'll be able to do. Yep, there's continental knitting and then there's the throwing knitting, and I learned how to do the throwing and I just more recently learned how to do the continental, and we can dig into that too, maybe. But yeah, it might be fun to give it a try. One of these projects, we'll slip that into one of our projects. So we've been doing like these big projects and peppering in some small projects. That might be a fun kind of medium-sized project, like a little knitting lessons and doing that. Might be a fun break from the fabric for a bit here and there. Yeah, I have not knitted left-handed though. All right, I think this is our last dude to clip and we are done in just about the right amount of time. So yeah, so tomorrow I'll get the ruler and the cutter out and we will, the cutting board, we'll trim these to size. And you know, they're big, long sizes now, so it'll take a little time to measure. Oh yeah, Continental really does go faster. And what's nice is when you finish a row, you can leave your hands in the same position. You don't have to get your hands all in the yarn again. It's perfect. Oh, Gretchen, well then we should for sure do it because you should be knitting something with your mom's needles. Yeah, we'll probably, if we're doing a beginning one, we'll start with the throwing just because I think you can see it a little bit better. But we can maybe in the middle of it, we'll do a little bit of the washcloth, like half the washcloth, and then we can try continental knitting, which I find really, really fun. I haven't mastered it quite yet, but I can do it enough where I can do like the knits and purls, but when you get other stuff involved, then I get a little confused, but we won't do all that. But yeah, so we'll try both of them because that was a whole mystery, the continental knitting, and I love it now. So, all right, guys, I'm going to flip you around, and we're going to call it a night. Let's see. I'll try and hold up this quilt again so we can check it out with the border. Yeah, alrighty. So here we are again, and let's check this guy out. So here, now we have the top border on. Oh, and it comes to the point there. Oops, that's the side border, actually. There we go. That house is upright. But awesome. So now next we will get these white borders on. They'll go along the side and the top here. So that'll be just a nice way to frame off these squares. So they'll be like really pretty floating squares then. So that is the plan. It is getting done. Done, done, done. It's getting big too, actually. It's hard to hold up. But yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be such a pretty blankie. I'm stoked. All right, guys. I will see you guys again tomorrow, I hope. We'll be back here at 8:30 p.m. Central. And yeah, we'll get those white borders cut. And I hope we get all the white borders sewn on. And man, if we got the white borders sewn on completely, all we have left are the 2 skinny borders and the big fat border. And man, if we could get that done on Friday by the end of the week, that would be some good timing. So I don't know. That's wishful thinking a little bit, I think, but it could be done. So we'll see. So we'll get as far as we can tomorrow and see if we can finish by the end of the week before we start the Tweet House project. But all right, guys, thanks again. Oh, and again, try and get on my newsletter. I will be sending out a newsletter before the end of the weekend, kind of telling you what you need for the Tweet House project, what you need ready for Monday, and maybe some other stuff in there too. So, all right, I will catch you guys tomorrow. Have a great evening. Good night.